Hello there, viewers of YouTube, and thank you for joining me on my channel. Today I wanted to start, I guess, sort of the inaugural episode of the best ways to play. This is a series I'm going to start doing that covers just the general things and the best ways that I have found to play them. Kind of think of it as a gun setup guide, weapons, specialists, game modes, and maybe some other stuff if I can think of it. Today we're going to be talking about the Outrider specialist. She has the Sparrow pullback bow for her weapon and then the Vision Pulse wall hack for her ability, and she is on the lower end of the spectrum for me personally. I think she's just not one of the better specialists in the game. It's mainly the Sparrow. We're going to go ahead and talk about that first. The Sparrow is an 8-shot pullback bow that I honestly don't like at all, and it's not so much that the weapon is terrible as much as I'm probably just terrible with it, because I am like really bad. You get 8 shots, and most of the time I feel like you can only get about 4 or 5 off before the timer runs out. The only way I can see getting 8 off is if you just absolutely spam it and you're in the middle of everything. Odds are you're not going to hit people anyway, so the kill potential is sort of off. Usually I get about 1-2 kills usually, and then I get shot in the back or something. What I find is the best way to use this is to play game modes that you can kind of predict and funnel people towards you. I thought this would work pretty well in team deathmatch initially, but people are just so spread out. I don't really have that kill potential. I usually only get maybe 1 kill, sometimes 2. But for domination and hardpoint, I certainly had a lot more success. Hardpoint, obviously, you can just funnel people directly towards you. In domination, people kind of cluster up on objectives. The bow will kill anybody on contact, regardless of how far back you pull it. The longer you hold down the trigger, the harder you pull it, and the more stabilized the arc becomes. The longer you hold it, you can actually propel the enemy that you hit backward. Potential of collaterals. If you miss, odds are the explosion damage isn't going to kill. It's honestly really weak. It might even need a buff. Every now and then you'll get a kill with it, but most of the times you won't. And I find it better to just kind of slow down what areas that you can funnel enemies and high traffic areas where people are going to be more occupied with other things. For example, playing domination on a map, pull it out somewhere around B but not directly on it so that you're not the main focus of attention, and then just kind of wait for people to come to you. Don't be aggressive with it, just kind of slow down with it. I know it's a weapon, but I found that being aggressive just more often than not gets you killed, and your kill potential goes way down. But yeah guys, that's a Sparrow. Like I said, I don't think it's very good, but it could just be me being terrible. I'm sure some people just run in and no-scope everything like it's nobody's business, but I don't. So I find the best way is to just slow down, play some objective game modes, and get the people to come to me rather than go to them. Next up, we had the Vision Pulse ability, which I find much better than the Sparrow. It's probably the bread and butter of the Outrider specialist, which sort of sets her apart from the rest, because most of the time the weapon is the defining factor for the specialist. What it basically is a 30-meter radius where you'll ping all enemies around you, and you get a 3D model of them through the wall, so wall hacks basically, and you also get to see them on your mini-map. Now, there are some downsides to this. Obviously, the enemies can realize when they're pinged because they'll begin glowing red, and they can also see where the Vision Pulse initially came from. So what I recommend for this is sort of the polar opposite of the Sparrow. With the Sparrow, I recommend that you play more passive. With the Vision Pulse, I'd advise you to be significantly more aggressive, because what you want to do is get away from the initial location that you activated the ability as fast as possible, because they are going to pre-aim. The enemies are going to know when they're pinged. They're going to pre-aim, and they're going to wait for you to come and attack them. The best way to keep the upper hand in this is to get as far away as fast as possible from where you activated the ability. That way you still have the upper hand in most situations. Now, you would think that this ability is really meant for like team deathmatch, kill confirmed, especially search and destroy. Honestly, search, I just don't find any specialist particularly useful, just because the charge times are so low, and 9 times out of 10 the matches end before I can even get them. Team deathmatch and kill confirmed, they do work pretty well, but I still find this ability to be particularly useful in game modes like domination. Now, this is where it's kind of odd. Obviously, you have a general idea where enemies are in objective game modes and where they're going to be. However, with the Vision Pulse, you get to see the exact 3D model exactly where every single person is, and it makes clearing objectives just a piece of cake. It is absolutely fantastic for running up, activating it as soon as you go to B, sliding away from the location you activated it, and then bam, you can just get a 3-piece, 4-piece like it's nothing. And it's really good for doing that, or whenever spawns are flipping, which is pretty common in this game. It's a good way to figure out exactly where people are coming from and where the spawns have switched to. But yeah guys, that is the Vision Pulse. Like I said, I like it a lot better than the Sparrow. It's kind of the bread and butter of the Outrider specialist in my opinion, and it sort of sets her apart because usually the weapon is what you want to be aggressive with, and then the ability you'd be more passive with, whereas the Outrider, I find the Sparrow to be better passive and the Vision Pulse to be better just kind of rushing in and attacking as fast as you can. But yeah, guys, that is the, I guess, first episode of the best ways to play, this one featuring the Outrider specialist. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like or subscribe for more content. I plan on doing future videos for this series. Like I said, right now we're just doing Black Ops 3. We can easily transfer this over to other games, but I'm currently playing Black Ops 3 as my multiplayer game, at least until something else comes out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.